Hey there, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking at the total serve this week, all of 5 parts, 5 things that I just think are the most important aspects to either gaining a good serve or just improving an already solid serve. We got Mark in picture today. He's kind of my student, so to speak. And today's video, I just want to go over 3 things that I believe are part number 1 of essential serving technique, all right? So the first would be the feet. I think a lot of us out there, not just serving, but any shot in tennis, what goes on with our base, with our feet, is so key to what goes on when we actually strike the ball. So Mark and I are very similar in our serves. We love what we would consider just a platform or traditional stance, which would be more of this left foot as a right-handed player. You know, Mark, I think you agree. I like lining it up towards the net post that's on the right side of the net. The right foot runs parallel to the baseline. If you just look at Mark right now, obviously kind of a casual stance, but he looks solid. If I gave him a push right now, I'm not knocking him over. So I really like this idea that that left toe points out to the net post, right foot parallel to the baseline. His feet are about shoulder width apart. We wouldn't want to be too much wider. We're going to have a tough time going up. And if you get a little narrower, that's not a deal breaker for me. I still think you can have pretty good balance with the ability to possibly spring up a little bit better if you go narrower. I just wouldn't want to see him go too much wider than his shoulders, okay? So that's the key with the feet. Second part of this idea today would be the toss, all right? Tossing, to me, and I think for you, Mark, probably the most important part of the serve. It just has everything to do with putting a good swing into great contact. So let's go through the toss a little bit here today, Mark. Obviously, how to hold the ball is really key. I think we agree. We like it in our fingertips. We don't want that ball down in the palm of our hand where it can roll off and we lose control. Fingertips allows the ball to leave your hand, where it just kind of comes up and oscillates slightly out. It's going to feel like it's sitting on a tee almost. So that's really key. The height at which we let the ball leave the hand is very important. If Mark lets the ball go too early, notice the height of his hands below his shoulder. This ball is going to move too far out into the court, not going to be able to reach that thing. The flip side of that is if he holds on too long. This is way above the height of his head. That ball is going to come back too far. Now we've got poor contact going on. So it's really mathematically pretty scientific that if Mark lets the ball leave right about the height of his forehead, the ball is going to move pretty much straight up, but because his arm is in front of his body, that ball is going to maintain a little distance in front of him. A great way to practice this: put a racket on the ground. I like Mark's left toe lined up to the middle of my grip. And then if he can toss that ball up and it lands somewhere around the strings of my racket, wow, solid right there. He's in a great spot to go up and hit a ball at a consistent contact point. That is so key. That's why the toss is such an important part, if not the most important part of anyone's serve. Okay, so part 3 today. We've looked at the stance, we've looked at the toss. We want to get athletic. The serve really should be a nice athletic motion. I've only seen a couple in my life that were great results without a lot of athleticism going on. The rock, getting some momentum from back to front. And this is where I would have Mark practice, you know, already starting with his weight on the back side of his body here. You can tell he's stacked into this right leg. The right leg is straight. We know all the weight's there because his left toe's off the ground, so he's not maintaining any weight forward. As we know, that toss is going to move out in front of him. We want his body getting a nice rock from back to front. So Mark, I think this is kind of like a 4 parts toss without hitting, and then if you feel like you've repeated it well 4 times, go ahead and hit the 5th ball. So it's weight back, weight forward. Notice how he's timing the arms. They come up as his weight starts to go forward. And then if that ball releases into a spot out in front of him, he can go ahead and let the toss go and probably hit one. Yeah, really nice. Awesome. Okay, so I know it seems really basic, but if we can't establish a nice base, have a consistent toss, and incorporate some athleticism with that rock, I think the ceiling on your serve is going to be a lot lower than someone who establishes these three parts of the serve really well. There's a much higher ceiling for how great they can be as a server, okay? So that's all I got for you today. Hope that was super helpful. Thanks to Mark for being on the court. You're going to see more of him this week. Until then, please click like below this video. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. As well as check down below me in the description of this video. You'll find the link to 3 free courses that Mark and I have put together. I think you'll find those really helpful as well. All right, so until next time, be well. We'll see you soon at Daily Tennis Lesson.